we are live. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, WatchYoMouthReviews. This is your boy James, where today I'm here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It is not going to happen this video, but that's all right. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Besh. I'll say what's up to her.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good morning, good
Yeah.
afternoon, good evening. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's help get James up to 500 subscribers. He puts in the work. Let's get him there.
Yes, guys, I'm almost close to 400. So I would appreciate it if everybody who is not subscribed to me, who watches these videos, go ahead and subscribe to me. And I'm going to apologize ahead of time, y'all. We are having some audio issues with StreamYard. So far, I'm not hearing anything out of the ordinary, which is good. So that means, we're off to a great start. But we are having some issues. We are well aware of them. StreamYard is working with us to make sure they get those resolved. So if something happens, I'm apologizing ahead of time. Let's see who's made it. So my official, unofficial moderator, American Born 2, aka AB, is here with us. We appreciate you. Do what AB says, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, please. My good girlfriend, Miss Dr. Jim Bunny, is here as well. Thank you so much. I'm happy that you're here. Even though you're running errands, but you're still listening. I appreciate the support, friend. I'm gonna text you later. Um, Let's see here. Who else is in there? Shani made it. Okay, Shani, I know you ain't watched all of this yet, so you ain't missed nothing though. That's okay, friend. I got you. All right, let's go ahead. I got everybody. Okay, we got everybody. So let's get into this mess. So the episode opens up where it leaves off with outside noise, aka Shantae. That's what I'm calling her, outside noise. Just like Mila from 702 is just 702 to me. I don't know that lady. Every time I see her, I say that's 702, even though I know 702 is a group. But this is outside noise. So outside noise accuses Tambra of being in a relationship with Dr. Juice Man, and she said her relationship with Demond is not real. Now, before this reunion, I also questioned that as well. But after seeing this reunion and seeing how they both stood up for each other at the middle of it, I was like, yeah, no, I don't, okay, maybe they are. Maybe James will take back what he said. Not really, but really. But Tamara comes over to Carlos because she immediately calls Dr. Juice Man and was like, we ain't having all this. So she said, Dr. Juice Man, Tamara here. And I'm going to give you the phone to Carlos so you can clear it up because we at the reunion. And I'm sorry I got to drag you into this. So they talking and Carlos asked him the question, are you and Tamara in a relationship? He said, not no, but hell no. And he said, okay, well, Shantae was recording you at your place of business. Finna incriminate this lady, which I'm not mad at. But Shantae was over there at your placement of business and told, and tried to get the information out of you. And meanwhile, while he on the phone with Shantae over there with the phone to her ear, trying to listen to what he's saying, trying to catch whatever it was that he supposedly incriminated with, but she couldn't find the evidence. And he said, I don't know you. I ain't trying to be affiliated with you. I ain't trying to do none of that. So I'm sorry for anything that you say or anything that you do, but don't be put me in your bullshit. Point blank in the period. So Shantae was like, okay, like she really didn't have a response because she knew she was wrong. She knew she was wrong. So my question is for Mrs. Best. How did you feel about Tamara calling the bed and get that cleared up ASAP? Because she wasn't playing. You on mute, friend.
I, I, I mean, go off, Tambra. Maybe you should have called during the season. Go away and be demoted. I'm done with Tambra. Now, I don't like Shantae. I think she's useless. I think that she is the reason why Letitia wears clothes that don't fit her based on how Shantae looked in her own dress. But I don't know. I just feel like Tambra, you called. That's good for you. But you should have been called or filmed with Dr. Juice Man since you have the relationship on the show. But now you want to come and do this at the reunion. It's too little too late, beloved. It's too little too late. So it's like, yes, calling helped, but nobody believes Shantae anyway. So what you did at the reunion, you should have done on the show, and then maybe we would have been more entertained. This is why people feel like Tambra is getting a free check. Because it seems like she's just there because professionally she represents Black excellence, working with HBCUs, doing radio. Professionally, she represents Jackson well. But in terms of a reality show, Like, you're turning up at the reunion when you could have shut Shantae down and just called Dr. Juice Cleanse on the show.
Or better yet, make him pop up so he can clear up anything that everyone is alleging about you two. And, we're going to put a pin in this for now because we do come back to this conversation. So I'm going to go ahead and just intermix the men in this next scene because we did have a little scene with Amanda, but it's more fitting if we put it with the men since Glendale has to answer and respond to this. So the men are all here and everything, and there's a few things that are brought up. The first thing that is brought up is this whole situation with Mike having an outside baby. Now, Mike said that he did not hear of the rumor until Cliff brought it up at Carrie's birthday party. That's when he had first got knowledge of it. And Cliff said, yeah, it was an Instagram post that said that one of the three men in this picture has a baby on the way and that he be stepping out and cheating.
I think you just cut out. It was loading. So start your statement over. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. And so I basically said the men come out and we first addressed the whole Instagram situation with the three men that are in the Instagram post about having a baby on the way. And what I was saying was Mike said that he originally heard the rumor from Cliff at Carrie's birthday party. And Cliff said, yeah, it was just saying there was a post out there that stated that one of the three of us stepped out and had a baby. That's what the rumor was and everything. And Selena said that she first caught wind of it from Marie because Marie talked about it and she said, hey, friend, just want to give you a heads up. I heard this rumor was out. I don't believe it, but I did hear that rumor. And so, right when, Selena confirms that, she said, I don't know who originated, but I do know that Carrie also brought it to the show. When I had a conversation with Marie, it was off camera. So, really, Carrie brought it on the platform, but I don't know if she was the one who started the rumor. And so Carrie was like, no, 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 that's not what happened. So the first I ever heard of this rumor, it was through Tamber. And Tamber had to hurry up and correct her and said, no, I did not start this rumor. I mean, I did not tell you about this rumor. You had already knew because you said you heard it from your husband. And so Carrie had to backtrack because she was about to lie and say that Matt didn't say anything, but she had to remember she said that on the show. So she was about to lie her way up out of this. And she still, in some way, did lie and say that, oh, no, I had heard it from Tamber first, and then I heard it from Matt. And she kind of fell into that story. Now, I don't know why Carrie is lying about that because she adamantly said that she heard it from Matt, who said he got it from Cliff. And it would make sense if she stayed with that storyline because Cliff just said that, yeah, he told Mike because he had saw the Instagram post and that he had heard Marie talk about it. So I don't know why Carrie lied or was trying to fixate the lie and put it on Tamber. That was weird. I was like, Carrie, you lost a lot of credibility with me because it's like you could have easily just said, hey, I heard the story. It is what it is. My husband told me. He heard it from the other men. I brought it to the show because I thought all the girls knew since my husband brought it to me. I'm assuming that everybody's husbands brought it to them. Boom. Would have cleared it. But I don't know. Something about Carrie was a little suspect to me. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about them bringing that up and then kind of pinpointing Carrie as the spokesperson and how it got around?
This is why I don't like shows that Carlos King does because they all do the same thing. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. Everybody's looking like, oh, we're losing credibility for Carrie. Carrie tried to tell the truth, and when Carrie does try to tell the truth, the women don't want to accept it or they beat her up for it. So, in my opinion, I looked at it opposite. If anybody feels like Carrie lost credibility, I think that's an unrealistic thing to feel. It's a show. This is also a show where the women overproduce and do the most. She said on the season that she got this from Matt and that Matt got this from one of the Bells. So I think that Carrie is telling the truth. It's just everybody's over talking her and getting involved, and it's making it hard to see that. I did not see her story change. I saw these people cutting her off so she couldn't finish a freaking sentence, but her story has not changed. She's maintained that she got the information from her husband and that her husband got the information from someone else. She also said during the season that there have been conversations amongst the Bells and her about this. I think that they are trying to put everything on Carrie so that the women who are loyal to Selena, who have known Selena for years and years, some of which were in her wedding, are not caught for talking and gossiping about their friend. Because at the end of the day, all of the Bells except for Carrie have a relationship with Selena. So whether you heard it from your husband, whether it was Carrie, Letitia, all of y'all had the responsibility to go and tell Miss Selena what you heard. But nobody said anything but Carrie. And now everybody is upset about it and talking about it. And I'm just like not understanding why everyone's ignoring the fact that, yes, Carrie may have heard something, but at least she brought what she heard to Selena, unlike the rest of the group. And I don't buy the excuse from Selena or the group of, well, she shouldn't have brought it up on camera. Why? She's on a fucking reality show.
True.
She's on a reality show. So people can talk about Letitia and Glenn. Ew, they're making me defend them. But Letitia and Glenn's raggedy ass marriage and all their problems is talked about. We had to watch Marie fighting to be with a man who was in the closet through Cedric and go on these strange dates. We watched Cliff and Latrice go through all of their issues and the questionable marriage that they have season after season after season. But Selena, who's only been here for 2 seasons, a rumor comes about and you guys are upset at Carrie for bringing it to the camera. That's what the fuck you're supposed to do. She's on a show. She's on a show. So even if Carrie told a lie or whatever, I believe where there's smoke, there's fire. Nobody would be accusing her man of cheating if he wasn't out there doing behaviors and things that could be construed as him cheating. But nobody's holding the right person accountable, which is Mike. That's his name, right? I always forget his name. He don't talk. But nobody's holding him accountable. And I see why, because it's hard to get Mike to say more than 3 words at a time. But Selena, if you're going to be on this show, shit's going to come out about your marriage. You chose to get married on TV. And as Andre Shannon said in the comments, hey, boo, happy Sunday to you, by the way. As Andre Shannon reminds us in the comments, Selena's been on TV for years prior to these Bells. She knows how shit goes. That's why I'm kind of looking at her like, why are you trying to play just this innocent Southern belle on this show? Girl, bye. But, you know, I'll be quiet.
Yeah, no worries. I totally see your point. I do. I totally see it. I'm gonna get through these comments. Mrs. Moncrief is here. Hey, Mrs. Moncrief. Hey, friends. Y'all need a new building contractor job. Hashtag 3546. We gonna talk about that because I thought that was hilarious. Dr. Juice Man. Yeah, Dr. Juice. I guess it's Dr. Juice Cleanse, but I'm gonna call him Dr. Juice Man.
Stop calling people doctors who ain't doctors. I'm getting sick of it.
Now, this is my creed to go from women empowerment to a talk show to bail bonding to contracting. Who else got whiplash from Letitia's fake careers? We're going to talk about that in just 1 second. Tamara didn't have a storyline, so she decided to bring him to prove those tricks next. She's seeing. Shout out to my girl Keywan J. Y'all please subscribe to her. She is useless like the G in lasagna. Oop. Can't even kiss her neck around his shoulder. Y'all better stop talking about people's body. I heard James just fine. Okay, thank you. Appreciate you. Cliff wants to be a Belle so bad. Child, you said it, not me. Marie should have told her where it came from. That's another thing. Thank you, Keywan, for pointing that out. Marie should have said where she heard it from. Because it seemed like wherever Marie heard it from was different from the Instagram post.
Regardless, it still goes back to my point. Marie, Latrice, Tambra, Letitia have all known Selena. So anything that they heard about Mike, they should have brought it straight to Selena, not to anybody else. And the fact that they didn't, they're not friends.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't believe Mike has been faithful to Selena, just my opinion. Okay. Okay. Carrie did say Tambra said, I don't know why Marie would say all those things to Selena knowing she's about to get married. Yeah, she did say that. I feel like, but still, she still brought it up. So I don't know if that makes her any less, innocent. Because she still brought it up before Selena got married anyway. So I don't know. I kind of feel like y'all all, huh?
All of them brought this up before
Right.
Selena got married. It's just Carrie was the one that it was edited to show brought it up on the show. But from Carrie bringing it up, we learned that you've all had discussions about this.
Yep, absolutely. When she said Matt heard from Cliff, Latrice told Carrie, my husband didn't say anything. And see, that was Latrice trying to clear Cliff's name from the mess. We all know the game that Latrice was playing with this. I
Cliff
100%
probably was
believe.
messy and said something because didn't Cliff used to date Selena before
Yeah.
Latrice did? So
hmm
maybe he feel away. I'm just saying.
I don't know if it's that, but I just know that, yeah, that was a part of the history. He, from what I understood, and this could be a legend, I don't remember, I have to go back and watch, is that Cliff cheated with Selena when she was with JJ. Yeah, that's the rumor I heard. That was somewhat brought on the show, but they didn't clarify it. Hey, Andre Shannon, I'm sorry I didn't. I missed you. I went over your comments. Selena was on Lifetime Dance Adults competition, dancing with her twin daughter. She's got hired on her own network. Yep. Selena just mad because it came out on camera. I got you, typo. I got you. Selena do not owe Dr. Marie an answer. She's married now. Marie is not. Oop. Tell the truth. Tamara was so loud to the very point she wasn't listening to Carrie, and she did admit she told Carrie. She did admit it, but it was like a backhanded admission. It was kind of like, yeah, but you still knew. Regardless if I told you, you still knew about it way before I told you. And see, and to me, that makes me still look at Tambra sideways as well, is because it seemed like all of y'all knew, but no one had the heart to tell her at that time but Marie. That's how it looks to me. I don't know. I could be wrong. Jules said, totally agree, Mrs. Vesselina is fully aware of what these OG bells roll. The look on her face while Carrie was talking spoke volumes. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
She used to gossip. She will ignore it and keep it moving. Probably. They all had, yes, and I think that's my point. They all had a hand in this. They all knew about it. It's just a matter of telling Celine.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. Tamber was deflecting, yelling over Carrie. I do think, but I just to me, I do feel like if I was Carrie, I would have stayed 10 toes down. I would have said that in the season. I wouldn't have said it at the reunion. I would have said, well, Tamber brought it to me first, and then Matt confirmed it. That's how I would have said it, if that's how it happened. But I go off. So next, we got to talk about this raggedy ass couple. Shout out to my girl, Keywan J TV. Um, we got to talk about, unfortunately, Letitia and Glendale. And we have to first mention, the whole escapade with her manager first, and this whole situation of Glendale coming up to her place of filming and running amok in the palace, as Mama D would say. And Letitia confirms that, she still works with First. They still have something going on. And then she also mentioned that, her show, she's still, shopping, get around, but she's also getting her contractor's license. She has taken one test and she passed it. And she will be taking another test in about the next week or so. She's going to become a contractor. And I said, y'all, as much as I want to be like, okay, you just gonna just do everything until something sticks, until something makes you the money you need to live and catch up with everybody else. You just gonna do all things possible. Because to me, as I said, we know she's still a bail bondsman, which that the way she practices is questionable. We know that she still does her brunches. We know she still does all these things. But the problem that I have with Letitia is that you doing too much and not putting effort into one thing that could potentially make you the success you need instead of just trying something and hoping that it makes you the $1 million. That's what it looks like to me. It doesn't look like she's really taking it serious. She's just trying to get $1 million. I think we all trying to do that, but what most of us are not doing is jumping from career to career to career to career, hoping something sticks. You need to find out what you like and what you want to do and put your energy into that and actually come with complete energy, not half-assing everything. Because the reason why nothing's working is because you half-assing and you being sloppy with it. That's why the shit's not working, because you have the platform for anything you do to be successful. You're just sloppy at what you do. That's just how I feel. Before I move on to the cheatations, Mrs. Best, how do you feel about hearing Letitia say she's going to become a general contractor and get her license?
well, after I get my graduate degree, I'm going to become an astronaut and I'll be on the moon in 2030.
I know that's right, friend. Give Randall
Nobody
Fox a
take this
machine.
bitch seriously. First, she tried to say she was fat and misshapen because she got PCOS, which I also have, just misinforming people on health. Then she tried to say, then she went 5 seasons without anybody knowing that she was a Belle bondsman. She came on season 1 and drove that Buick in that damn wig and then wondered why her husband was stepping out on her. And I just can't understand why anybody takes Letitia Pearson seriously. And I get that people enjoy the show, but I actually think the way that she moves is dangerous to the Black community and how we are looked at. I'm sorry, she's an embarrassment. She just is. You sitting up here on a show that's supposed to be about being an entrepreneur, doing stuff for your community. We ain't heard you talk about Ferris Street since Aikisha was here. And the last time you talked about it, it wasn't because you cared about rehabilitating a historical part of the Black community. It was because you just wanted to make sure that Aikisha didn't do more than you. But she did. So I don't take this lady seriously. Every season, it's a fucking gimmick. It's a gimmick at this point. I'm tired of Letitia. I can't take her seriously. And you know what's funny? The OWN fans are just a little bit delusional, just like Letitia and some of the cast, because anybody with sense could see that Carlos asked her what her next career was. That was shade. Okay? That was dry shade if I ain't never seen it. He's asking you that because it's a joke and it's comical to hear what new career you're going to have season after season. And we see this show at least once or twice a year. And every time we see it, she's changing careers. So it gets to a point where I don't give a flying fuck about what this bitch does for money. I'm just happy she's able to make it because she's a joke. She's a joke. Hell, a Walmart employee has more career stability than Letitia Pearson. Okay? At least they know where they're going. They know when they check coming. They know how much they're getting paid. And they can even get a raise if they stay there long enough. Okay? Letitia Pearson, what this says to me is you cannot finish anything that you start, which means that you lack the actual drive and passion to be an entrepreneur. And it's an insult to people who are actual entrepreneurs, whether they succeed or don't succeed, because, for instance, people who are trying to start a company similar to Latrice's with hair or doing what Dr. Marie did. I'm sure it took time and there were a lot of fails before they were finally able to win, but they stuck to what they stuck to. Same with Tambra in radio. This bitch is changing careers season after season after season and trying to make it look like she's a boss when nothing she's done has been profitable enough for her to even own a fucking house. If I'm on TV for 8 seasons and I live in the state in the United States with the cheapest housing because Mississippi is economically struggling and always has, but that makes things cheaper. If I'm on TV and have a stable income and my husband has his good job, the way our credit would be together and I would have bought me a nice little regular house or something, Letitia hasn't done shit in 8 seasons but give me a headache. So I don't take her seriously, and I want them to stop with these narratives of what you're gonna do next. Bitch can't even fry a sausage correctly, but you want to build a house. Girl, bye. Goodbye. Can't.
Ooh, that was a read. If I ain't never
It
heard a read
wasn't
in
a
my life,
read.
that was a read, girl.
It
That
was
lady
not
from
a read.
hell.
Don't do that. It was
That's
not a
fine.
read.
No, I'm here for it. Don't worry about that. So it then comes up about Amanda in her position of how she plays. It was asked because they had mentioned, Letitia asked her, did she want to have a threesome? So she clarifies with Amanda, did I ask you that? And she goes, no, your husband asked me actually. And Glendale's looking confused and stuff like that. And she goes, okay, and he says, I never asked about that. And from what I understood, there was a whole conversation that happened in the car with just her and Glendale. And she said, oh, yeah, I knew about that. And I was like, the fuck you mean you knew about them two being in the car alone with each other? The fuck is going on? Like, why is that okay? What they need to be in the car by themselves for? Like Letitia don't make no damn sense. And then Letitia said that we have had a threesome. I'm not gonna say any names. I'm not gonna say who it was or anything. And Glendale was like, "Oh no, you gonna say something? It was a girl. I don't play that. It wasn't no two-guy situation." I said, Glendale, nobody thought that. But the fact that she said that y'all had a threesome with another woman when on her 25th birthday explains the cheating. It explains the cheating because now I have a clear picture of exactly what's going on here because y'all have to understand Letitia is about 38 years old. Now, the rumor about him having a child happened about 13 to 14 years ago. So that would put her around the same age around when that happened. So now I kind of understand. They told on themselves without telling on themselves. And I'm going to say allegedly because I can't prove it none the wiser because Homegirl has not come out and confirmed anything. And it was kind of like a his story here today and then gone tomorrow. But the timeline of that would make a lot of sense if that's around the time that it happened. So you know, everyone is like, Latrice said, I already knew because she told me that that's happened with them before. And I said, interesting, interesting. I can't take them serious. I just cannot. The last thing we'll talk about is the post up. And he asked, Carlos asked Glendale, has he signed the post up? He goes, no, I have not signed the post up. And he goes, when are you going to sign it? He said, as soon as she presents it to me, as soon as she has something concrete where there's a need for a post up. So when Glendale said that, that means Letitia ain't doing shit if there's nothing that she needs that she could secure for a postman. That's what he basically said. There's nothing for her to secure right now for her to have one. But when she does get that, that's when I will sign it. And then I think it was Tamber who said, well, because Glendale made the money at the beginning of their marriage, I understand why he feels a certain way about that. I said, Tamber, ma'am, sit this one out, please. Just sit this one out because no, that does not make sense. Because we're talking about the potentials of her making profits from business ventures that she has and protecting the assets. It's when you look at Glendale's background, she got to split that with Josh and his mom. They got to be shared in three equal ways. So yes, a posting up is necessary. So I was like, oh my God, these people. So Mrs. Best, how did you feel about the threesome conversation? Were you surprised?
No, I think their marriage is open, and I think that they just bullshit acting upset about his cheating for the show. Because any woman that stays with a man like Glendale is pathetic and hates herself or in an open marriage. It's just how I view it. But I didn't like Carlos's advice at all. I didn't like his opinions. I'm going to say this again. If you are married, don't take advice from people who are not. That includes people who have been married before. They may be able to issue some advice, but they're not going to issue you anything that's going to keep you in your marriage because they couldn't stay in theirs. So, yeah. Carlos, keep your opinions to yourself about the post nup and all of that. That's weird. I think it's up to the couple to decide if a post nup or whatever is best for them, you know? I don't think anybody else should have a part of that opinion. I also think it's weird they tried to discuss this, but while everyone's focused on the post nup, I was just like, what are you going to put in it? Usually if you have a post nup, you put stuff that's profitable that you don't want to lose in it. What do they have to put in this post nup? Because the job he got, as James just explained, already splits up things with the 401k, and if anything happens, like, and I don't even believe Glenn has the greatest benefits. It's given these are his accidental, the A&D benefit that most jobs offer in all 50 states, as well as the life insurance policy that all jobs offer employees for free. I think it's usually like 50K in coverage, depending on your state. Like, it's giving, that is all he has. And as for Letitia, what, we gonna put some burnt biscuits and sausages into a damn post nup? So I'm like, y'all don't even, to be discussing a post nup when you don't even own property yet, to me is a little bit of a skip of a step, but it's their choice. But as for the threesomes, I don't care. I just want Letitia to pay attention to her man and hold him accountable instead of attacking the Bells, the women, and the audience for things that her man has done. That's all.
I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. I'm gonna read the comments and then we're gonna move on to the next part of that segment. Selena knew the entire time. Tamber yelling gave guilt. Yep. Tam and Latrice are closer to Selena. Yep. But we got James saying raggedy ass. Now, I had to shout out my girl. I wanted her here, but she's going to join us for Hard and Hustle Houston, which will be right after this video. Pick a job, pick any job, Letitia. No, stay with one job and then put in the effort to make it work. How can Glenda afford Versace shades? Credit. Tamber is a radio personality. She is loud, so Letitia carries style too. Jump every single year to a career. Yep. Instead of just putting the effort into one. Uh, because he is dumb and spends too much money on brand stuff. I can't stand Letitia. Right. What happened to Fair Street? It's still dilapidated and non existent the way it was on season one. I just looked it up. Oprah charged a fee for her own network. She does not need Google. Ooh. Let's run down Letitia resume. Fair Street, Side Chicks Are Winning, Brunches, Bail Bondsman, The Enterprise, Women Empowerment, Talk Show Host, General Contractor. Did I miss anything? Nope. That sounds like the entire resume. Um, she didn't get satire. Quiet as kept. Letitia, that's Letitia's problem with Latrice, Carrie, and even Aikisha because no one is supposed to do more than her because she wants to be the center of Bell. I agree with that, Mrs. Moncrief. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Carlos King, he watched HGTV, Home Renovations, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Love him. Yep. I believe Amanda. I do too. Me too. The fuck? Deep fried sausages as canned, glory gleams, and now we want a threesome hum. Like this is this, that, whatever sticks. Amanda was being messy. She's not married to Glenn. We know that, but she here. Um, let's see here. Laugh a lot, Mrs. Moncrief. Amanda is not wrong. Would not have had been messy, Glenn, if not come to her DM. Let's keep the men accountable. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think we're skating over the whole Amanda thing because Letitia doesn't want whatever it is that their relationship was to get out. And that was very evident at this reunion, or unless editing made it that way and a lot more was explained. I don't think that they were touching on base because they just went over that whole car scene that she was in the car with him alone at Taste at the grand opening, and Latrice had to come get her up out the car because she said that she felt uncomfortable, and she said you ain't supposed to be in that car anyway. Why was she in the car, Glendale? Why was she in the car?
Everybody wants to come at Amanda because I do feel like society's trained to just come for the female. But at the end of the day, Amanda has made it very clear that she's one, a lesbian. She dates women. And two, she don't want this man. She even provided receipts that Glendale was the one consistently trying to come for her. So I will never accept anybody calling Amanda messy or saying that she's part of the problem when there would be no problem if Letitia's husband behaved like a fucking husband. That's all. Because my man ain't gotten in the car with none of my friends alone. And I've been with him almost 20 years. Ever.
No, I mean even that time you went into the store for 5 minutes, I rolled the window down.
Not in hot ass. James looked at me and said, go just go. Right. Not even rolled the window down. I just don't get it with those two, but
Yes.
I do wish Letitia well. You could tell she's trying to have a better life for herself, but I do think Wendell brings her down.
Yes, absolutely. Because he came to where she was filming and acted a complete fool. Like that really could have been. Let's be honest. Had they not put that on TV the way that they did, I think that really would have did something for her. I don't know what it could have done, but I do believe it would have done something, or at least parlayed her into an avenue to where that could have been lucrative for her. And I think that Glendale coming up there and starting that shit with first and all this, I just think that that really is what
They never addressed
traumatized
it
her.
at the reunion, did they?
They showed it, but they never said what happened. And
They should have
I,
talked about him storming her employer. I think that the production, I don't know why I feel this way. I feel like they're trying to not focus on Letitia and Glendale as much because I'm like, we should have talked about that, especially if we were talking about stuff that happened during that weird break that the show took. I thought that they would discuss the issue at first, but maybe not.
yeah, I feel like yes, they should have talked about it, but only way I would have accepted it if it first was there. First had to be there, the reunion. That's the only way I would have accepted bringing that up or having that conversation. With first not being there, it's pointless because I want to
Maybe
know
the
how
way
it
to
got.
get in there is to take a play since Glendale acts so homophobic. I need people to know it was two with two girls, not two guys. I,
Yep.
I'm just saying, Glendale. So you'll answer questions for Carlos, a gay man, but you can't talk face to face with a straight one about your misbehavior. Just saying.
Right. Yeah. Letitia has found comfort in her discreet additional bags of bringing new cast. Yet Letitia is another Belle with shady, questionable businesses. I mean, yeah, they are questionable businesses for sure.
What
Now,
business does she have? All I've seen, everyone says she's an entrepreneur, but all I see is that office for the enterprise with no one working in it. Like, what business does she have? Because we know with the bail bonds, she works for another company.
yep.
Nothing wrong with that. Bail bonds are paid wonderfully. But what business does she have? The brunches don't count because they're not happening regularly and she doesn't have like an ongoing staff. So just,
I think what it is that the enterprise is her leasing the suites because she owns more than one office. She owns that whole complex. So she invested into that. But the thing about it is, are the suites all taken or are they
oh,
all
she's a
empty?
landlord?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what
that's not a business though.
I mean. Because it's commercial. I think that's why they consider that because it's commercial.
I'd respect her more if it was residential. It's harder to get approved. Commercial is actually easier to get approved. But okay, right.
I mean, I don't know. I listen. That's what was explained to me is that the enterprise is a bunch of empty ass suites that she's trying to fill in the building, and I think that Bill Bondsman office is in her one of those suites. I believe that's what they were telling me. Yeah. Carlos did this with Letitia with Marceau, and he did it with Mel with Martell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do see what you're saying. Yes, yes, yes. But I think the difference between those two is that Mel was already running out the door first season. It just took her a minute to get there. It took her to season 5 to actually get it going and get it, completely done and over with. And then it wasn't done and over with because he kept popping up, showing up, trying to insert his love and power to get her back because he wasn't winning without her. I think in this instance, Letitia just stayed. Good, bad, or indifferent, she just stayed and stuck like glue. So yeah, I do think that
Ain't
Carlos
nothing
is
going on for herself. She can't leave like Mel did. Mel's
true,
business is profitable.
true.
just, just
Latrice Spider Amanda as her hairstylist. Oh no.
she did. But Amanda's on another show, so it could also be because of that.
Yeah, it could be. Hello, preach. Taking no advice from marriage, from singles, financial advice from broke parties, and receipts from
Mm-hmm.
who can cook.
It's true.
I'm glad Letitia isn't trying to be a culinary chef.
Oh,
Don't
we
give.
all have a high BP, cholesterol. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. Don't give her no ideas, Keywan, because she might actually try that next time and come out with a cookbook. And I'm gonna buy it for Mrs. Best for Christmas.
Ha 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 ha.
She's gonna be a fashion designer next season. Oh,
I'm
please,
thinking of the
no.
Housewives of New Jersey when Teresa did a cookbook. Who was it? Carolyn Manzo said, she is as Italian as Olive Garden. I said, oh God, why did
Damn,
y'all read her like that?
I forgot about the Enterprise. Mrs. Best, now you read that up. Yeah, Enterprise.
She talks about Letitia Pearson Enterprises. That's what it said on the door. It was empty as hell in there, but there was an enterprise.
Office with one desk and no copier or anything. Right. Letitia might be trying to get rid of Glendale from the food she feed him. Oh, laugh out, not a cookbook. Mrs. Best
Oh
will throw
no.
that cookbook.
I'm sending it to my favorite cousin in the Dallas Fort Worth area, Miss Erica. I'm sending it
Yeah.
right to my person
She
who
gonna
I
re-gift it.
enjoy
That book
collaborating
it's
with.
gonna get passed around from Mrs. Best to Keywan J TV. Then Courtney go get it and write up in it, and then it's gonna come back to me.
Courtney
With
might end up throwing that shit in the bayou while she sends me my next candle.
Oh Lord have mercy. Now she gonna burn. Oh shit.
I'm gonna send it to
Okay.
Shana, and she just gonna look at me. I be cracking up. I be trolling Shana sometimes. She'll just look. I can wait to
Courtney,
Shana.
go cuss me out giving her that book. No, I can see it. Courtney go look at the recipe and they go call me like, girl, what you send me this shit for?
It said to put the whole bottle of oil into a saucepan, heat it up on high heat, and then drop all of your sausages in there and fry them extra hard.
Extra hard, and they're not gonna be done in the middle, but that's okay. It's still cooked.
Oh,
Oh Lord Jesus. Okay, y'all, we gonna move on. So the next thing we have to talk about is Tambra. So Tambra, Devon joins her own stage, which this is his first time making an appearance on the reunion to support her. And Carlos says that he knew about Demond since he met Tambra, so they always been together. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. And he goes, well, Tambra, you did seem like you found joy in what Shantae was bringing up. And she was like, I thought it was funny. Like when she first told me who the person was, I did think it was funny. It was hilarious because out of all the people in the world, it had to be him. Like out of everybody, it had to be him. And pretty much Damon said, look, I don't know you. I don't know what's going on. That wasn't cool. I don't know if that was just a lapse in judgment. I don't know what you thought you may have heard. And Shantae was like, listen, my man told me this is what it was. And I believe my man the same way you would believe Tambra or Tambra, you would believe Demond. And I said, Shantae, I would have had your side had you not went up there and secretly recorded the man to get a confessional out of him. I would have had your side because, yes, a lot of the times we do believe the people that we're in relationships with other than they tell us something. That means that's just common nature unless you got somebody that constantly lies and you get to take things with a grain of salt. But for the most part, if you in a healthy, loving relationship, you're gonna believe the person. So I get what she's saying, but where she lost credibility with me is when she went up to that man's place of business and then secretly recorded him trying to get him to confess that he was with Tamara off of the strength of her boyfriend. So that's where she lost me. But Damon said he ain't got no ill will against her. He wished her the best. Like it's good from here. And I'm just like, no, Damon, no, it's not. She tried to fuck up with you in your relationship, and you need to be just as mad as Tambra is. That's all I'm gonna say. So, Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Damon speaking about the situation and addressing Shantae?
the only reason, Tambra, that anybody questions the legitimacy of your relationship is because you don't share shit about your life on the show that you're supposed to share about your life. I have to say that, but at the same time, I do think Tambra might be with Damon or have some type of arrangement. Whatever they have, it works for them, and I do think it's rude for myself and everybody else to continue to inference and think their relationship is fake. I feel like also, Shantae, you're full of shit and you're a thirsty trollop because I've been seeing you all over the internet commenting everywhere that is attached to OWN, headlines on OWN, in and out sort of Belle Collective. And I'm going to say this. What kind of man you got? Because it sounds like you with a messy bitch made nigga. Because why does he care about whether Tambra is with Dr. Juice Cleanse or not? That's what I would ask Shantae. Why does your man care about who somebody else is with? Because most straight men do not care who a friend of their friend is dating and who they're with and all of this. So I find that part to be a little shady. Separately, I agree with James. She recorded him. I think that's odd. Thirdly, I think Shantae only has a problem with Tambra because Tambra is the one who got Marie and Letitia's messy asses together. The situation with Tambra and that man that happened seasons ago, even though it was very clear, I think that is the situation that helps everybody see, regardless of how they feel, that Letitia and Marie are messy in the background and that they are also shady as hell. So I don't know. I just feel like Shantae is up here doing the work of her friend. And it's funny because I always look at two messy people when they try to have good friendships. And I'm like, y'all not friends with each other. There's no way you can. Because if you were really friends with Letitia, Shantae, she wouldn't have let you come on TV and make a fool of yourself. Now, let's say they do decide to hire Shantae one day as a Belle. Nobody will respect her. Nobody will take her seriously. And if she ever shows her boyfriend, if she can keep him, we just gonna be thinking that he's a messy little bitch for being involved in all of this. So I hope Tambra convinces Dr. Juice Cleanse to sue. I hope that Tambra does something and sends some legal documentation towards Shantae. I think OWN and Carlos King allowing a woman like Shantae to be a part of this platform was dangerously unprofessional. And it's unfortunate because it also further shows why Letitia should not be on this show. Because if this is what you have to bring in terms of your friendships and stuff, I don't want you here. And then Maria's likable, and Maria's going to lose the likableness that she gained trying to defend Letitia. I just really think it all comes down to I don't like Shantae, but Letitia can go. Because she's obviously trying to pre-produce and impact what people say and how they do stuff, and I'm just over it. I'm over it.
I kind of, yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tambra is too private, but she wants to be on reality TV. She and Manira mirror each other. I agree.
Can they
I
go
agree.
to their bathroom mirrors and get off of our TV screen? I can't with either of them.
So the last thing we're gonna talk about is Matt Carey and Day Mamas and this whole fiasco that did not make any sense. No matter how many times I've watched this, which was about 4 times, I still don't know what the real issue is because they keep circling around. And usually, when you can't figure out what the issue is, that means there is no issue. This is bullshit for TV. So we're gonna try to keep this,
They said that Carrie's mom gave light into what the issue is, and I do believe her. I don't think they're BSing for TV. I think Matt's mom is the problem, but
no, I think that there's truth in that, but I just don't think this is how I feel. I feel like there is validity to what Miss Eleanor said, and I'm gonna go over in just a second. But to me, I feel like on Miss Marlene's part, I think that she's egging it on. I do. I think she's egging it on and trying to make it more than what it is based on her personal vendetta because Carrie gets all of Matt's attention. I think that that's
that's
really
the
what it
issue.
is. Yeah,
That is
yeah,
that is the issue.
yeah. But they talk about, yeah, so pretty much we pretty much got out the issue of what it is. Um, and they went back and forth. They was cracking me up in Miss Barley's outfit, y'all. That lady was chilling. I'm telling you. What was Queen Mother's name in Black Panther? I was like, Lord, look at this lady.
Don't do Angela Bassett like that.
Like, Lord, jeez, look at this lady. But they talk about Matt's career in baseball and if Carrie was the cause of why he has not progressed further in it. And Miss Marlene said, yes, I do think that she is the cause. Carrie had to back her up a little bit. She said, let's back a little bit. I've always supported Matt in his career. And had it not been for me, he wouldn't be where he is right now. My support is what got him going and saying, hey, you need to be an agent since you no longer play professionally anymore. You need to go ahead and be an agent because you have a talent and an eye for this. So go ahead and pursue it. And he did it off of the strength of her work and still made it. So, no, give her credit where credit is due. Now, I could see that because Carrie is a pusher. So I could definitely see her doing that. Carlos asked Matt, what is the issue between Carrie and your mother? And he goes, I just think they're both just stubborn and bullheaded, and they both just want to be right at the end of it all. I have to stand by my wife because that is my wife, and I do love my mother. And Eleanor said she does this all the time. I have to get on her a lot about this because you can't just come talking to my child in your kind of way. She be in her, his brother marriage. She be trying to run that marriage too, and it's ridiculous. She could, Miss Marlene said, "What you been drinking on?" Because I don't never try to be up in people's marriage. She said you do, and it's very bad. The same way you was up in here, all up in Carrie Match, you do that to your other son as well. I know you. I love you, but I know you. And Miss Marlene couldn't say nothing. She would just sit there and she was like, and Carrie said, I don't think I've ever disrespected you or anything like that. What did I do to your son to make you have those feelings about me? She said, Carrie, look, you can't cook. That was pretty much it. And Carrie tried her hardest not to laugh at that lady's comment. I was like, the hell they got to do with anything? Because she can't cook? What you want her to do? I said, lady, come on. It got to be more than just that. But the fact that that was the first thing that came into her head, let me know that it really ain't no problem with Carrie. You can't find no flaw in her that's big enough for you to come first. That's all that is. You can't find a flaw in her that's big enough for you to come first, and that's what you want. And ma'am, I'm sorry, respectfully, you need to go get you somebody. Because if you are doing this not only in Matt's marriage, but your other child's marriage as well, you need to go get something. You need to go take care of something, or you need to go get you a man, get you something. Because that's too much involvement up in these people's situation and causing too much ruckus in their marriage when a marriage is already challenging enough. We don't need outsiders in there. And Matt, I somewhat blame Matt too for this, for not setting boundaries with his mom and let her know, hey, look, our relationship is our relationship. That does not include my wife. If you have an issue with it, bring it to me and I will correct it. But you don't have to keep coming to her if you can't watch your, placement there. Because you come there talking about she can't cook, talking about her, having no bra on, just doing the most. It just is not soothing for him to have a healthy relationship. So, Mrs. Best, how do you feel about the mamas in their situation?
Um, like Carrie's mom said, she has a history of doing this with his other siblings. It sounds like the other siblings know how to put Miss Marlene in her place, though. And Matt is the more timid one, not willing to do that. Um, I don't know why any mom would do this, play with your child's marriage. But then again, this is a mom who couldn't make her own marriage work and then claim the land of her dead husband. So don't expect much from Matt's mom. I actually just assessing her body language and stuff. I feel like she was very excited to be on TV and to show off her outfit. And it's interesting because you could tell Miss Marlene enjoys the spotlight, enjoys it. Whereas we look at Miss Eleanor, Carrie mama, and she over there just regular. She is herself. Carrie's mom is the same from the moment we met her to the smaller scenes we get with her. No matter where we see her, she's the same. Whereas Miss Marlene just always seems to do something for the camera, or it seems like she's working for a problem. But I agree with Jewel. Again, that's my girl Jewel. She be on the same page as my brain. She's quoting church. It's like my mother-in-law said to me. My husband's mom said this to me. He can't, and you can't be coming to me when I was 19, like your son did this, he's on my nerves. And she said to me, Amina, you can't keep coming to me about my son. I did my job. The Bible says he is supposed to leave his mama and cleave to his wife. So you better figure it out, and I'm going to stay in my place. I said, my God. Well, younger, I was like, I know you lying. Go get him together. But now that I'm older, I'm like, that helped us to grow and to have a stronger relationship because that happened. Miss Marlene is not allowing this man to have a relationship with his wife. You are complaining about shit that does not impact you or your grandkids. And even if Matt is complaining about it, so what? Listen to his complaints and just be the person that he can vent to. It's kind of like if I complain to James about my husband, which I have done before, or when he gets on my nerves. They could still be around each other and kicking and stuff. He's not going to go say, well, she mentioned this to me, so don't you do that, Mr. Best. And that's what Marlene does. I feel like Matt vents and then she hears what he's venting and it kind of feeds the evilness within Corella's soul. And then she goes and feels the need to correct Carrie. When I also hate to go back to what I said earlier, mom, dad, family or not, do not take advice from motherfuckers who couldn't make their own marriage work or their own relationship work. You can't, because Miss Marlene is giving advice for what's best for Matt and herself, but she is not giving advice based on what's best for Matt and Carrie as a unit. So I do understand why Carrie is the way she is as it relates to her mother-in-law. I don't feel like she should be involved with whatever goes on with the land that Miss Marlene wants Matt to be a part of. But don't let that lady just play in your relationship. Matt needs to man up, in my opinion, because your mother is doing what you allow her to do. It is up to you as her child to place that boundary, and you not placing that boundary is adding stress to your wife. Now, I am not saying Carrie is innocent. I'm sure there's fault that she has and things that she can do to be a better wife or to, accommodate what Matt wants. But he has to speak the fuck up. A closed mouth is not going to get fed. So hopefully they figure it out. But watching the reunion, Miss Marlene just wants to be on TV.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I don't fully believe that it's problematic. I know AB saying you think Matt's scared of his mama. I don't think it's fear. I think maybe because his father has passed away.
Yeah.
Something I've seen in common with I haven't lost either of my parents, but I have a lot of friends who are starting to lose their parents. And it seems like once a parent is gone, they value the living parent that they have left.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that's what's happening with Matt versus fear. But then I also feel like he's more timid naturally. And probably just as a guy who doesn't like to speak up and do all of that. But the fact that they was up there arguing about his career and his injury and all of this stuff is crazy. And Marlene contradicted everything she said. You say Carrie's not there for her husband, but she was there when he lost his career, when he injured himself, when he was playing in his career. She was showing up and supporting him. And then through all of it, she gave him children. She tries to care for it. Why can't she have businesses or something for herself? Like, she can't be that bad if being with your son, they've been able to amass wealth together, not just based off of what Matt does. And it's weird that she feels the need to comment, his career could have went further if not for Carrie. And then when she got corrected, she tried to change her statement. But you said what you said, Miss Marlene. You said what you said. Why is this woman responsible for your son's career? Did she throw the ball? Did she hit the ball? Was she catching balls on first, second, and third base? No. So I feel like Matt's mom is disappointed that his career in MLB did not continue on, and probably because she was reaping benefits as well. And I think that's her only problem with Carrie. It probably has to do with like money and the stuff that can be done for her. That lady just gives that, but they good TV, so I'm okay if they come back.
Yeah, they are. Absolutely. I agree. Um, Carrie's mother is a who. Keep my daughter's name out your mouth. Miss Eleanor didn't want to put that tea out there. She was trying not to. Um, Miss Marlene's mad because Carrie's an independent woman and she wasn't.
Pocket Keywan.
I bet Matt and his brother are one and the same. Probably. Probably. Also, with Bell Shiv not having on stage, they were laughing and making faces. They were, and that was annoying me. It was like, okay, why aren't they there? I mean, we don't need an audience. I don't think Miss Marlene was able to express herself, and now she's single and overly expressive. Um,
No, I think this
I
lady feels
think
like her children's success she has a right to.
right. No, she definitely gives. She's been obnoxious and boisterous and definitely opinionated the entire time. She does not give me. She was timid at one point when she was married, and then when it was over, she just found her voice. No, lady gives me. She was exactly like this from start to finish. Um, Miss Ryan act like she wanted to be her son's wife. Ah,
She is acting that way. I mean,
she,
you're
she,
involved in
yeah,
comments on how money is spent, when food is cooked. You done commented on this lady's bra. Like, she's commented on shit that doesn't impact her at all. I don't get it, but
yeah, absolutely. I don't get it either. That's true. He is protective of her now. I agree. Yeah, I agree, but I think the problem with also that whole situation is that he never had clear boundaries. Because, like Mrs. Best said, that made a lot of sense. Like when you've lost a parent, it does make you cling to the other parent and absolutely overlook bad behaviors because, especially when the loss is fresh, like it does make it hard for you not to clean. So you kind of overlook certain behaviors, you kind of overlook certain attitudes or overlook certain things that the one parent have because you realize that's the only thing you have left that is your make of this earth. So, you know, I totally get that and I agree with that. I do. Both sons pay tax on their land. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, she's using them, but not even her land. Yeah, because I want to know how she got it. I do. I said that when we learned that she was divorced from the man before he died and had this land. I want to know how she got it because either they didn't update their wills at the time or something happened by default. But,
her sons are just allowing her to handle it because they're probably too timid to say anything. Who
probably.
knows? But thank you for giving us a storyline to their family because
Absolutely.
nobody else gave shit.
Yep. But that was it. That was Belle Collective. The ladies all talk about what they have going on next. I really don't care. Marie was serenaded with, a Coke cover of her face holding a Coke. I thought that was really tacky. And that's another season of Bell Collective. I'm sure they'll be back very soon because
Could have
y'all know
just
how.
ended the season instead of trying to copy what Bravo's does when we get housewife reunions. But keep plagiarizing, Carlos. Do you, boo?
But that was it, you guys. That was Bell Collective. It was a good reunion part two, but some of the stuff they could have kept, some they could have gave more of. But yes, it was tacky. That was ridiculous. But we're gonna go ahead and end this live. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to my replay gang, K y'all. Make sure y'all are subscribed to me. Make sure y'all leave a comment and make sure you like the video on your way out. Everybody in the live chat, please do the same. Like the video on your way out. We're going to be doing Heart and Hustle Houston, me and Mrs. Best. And then also I think Keywan will be joining us for that live as well. I appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you so much. And y'all have a great rest of your weekend if you cannot make Heart and Hustle Houston. Bye-bye now.